Hello, friends, and welcome to another Ride in the Struggle Bus, where every wheel's not a triangle. So, a little bit of a channel update. I know we've been having a lot of those recently. Anybody who's been paying attention has kind of seen that I've been struggling with figuring out like what I want to do for content and playing games and juggling all that. But I came to a realization this week that I've never actually like sat down and studied. It's always been this nebulous, like I'm studying now, but that just means like I play games and get some of them reviewed, but I've never actually sat down and made like a regimen and a plan and it's like this is what I'm going to do for the for the week. And I liken it to my other big hobby is rock climbing. And a few years ago I trained pretty hard for it. And there it's like I had a schedule and I had a regimen. Like I knew on Monday what I was going to be doing for exercise on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, like for the entire week. I knew what I was going to be doing, when I was going to be doing it, and the full details. I've never done that with Go. And so with Go Congress coming up, I really would like to be stronger for it. And we still have a few months until we can get there. So I think I'm just going to come up with a plan, and that's what I'm going to be doing. So you're going to probably be noticing a lot less of the normal videos that I've been doing here. What I probably am going to do though is I might just like make videos of me studying, which I know is not exciting. That's probably not what you guys want to see. But it's at this point, it's going to be pretty much that or nothing because I think I am going to be focusing heavily on studying. So that's what I got. We'll be back with normal stuff after Go Congress, where I'll be kind of just settling back into things. But until then, I want to study. I want to get strong, and so I invite you guys to come along with that. So we're going to start today. I just played a league game. And one thing that I've never been particularly great at is reviewing my own games. But I do know how we should be approaching that. So let's go take a look at the game that I just played. I lost, but it was a really fun game. It was pretty close, and so I'm sure there is a lot to learn from it, and it's fresh on my mind. So let's go jump in and take a look at that game. But before we go and jump into that game, this is me now having recorded that portion of it. It's probably slow. It's probably clunky because there's lots of me just kind of thinking and, not necessarily explaining everything. So, maybe it's worth watching. Maybe it's not. I'll let you guys decide. But do let me know if you want more or less of this. Anyway, now we'll get to the review. Okay, so what I'll do here is I'll just fly through the game pretty quickly, just so you guys can see what the game was. I'll also link the SGF if you want to go through a little more slowly. But I am black this game. This was a Benkyo League game. I'm sorry, I was white this game, as you can tell, because I played the Dragon Enclosure. Or attempted to play the Dragon Enclosure. Our friends denied us, and having worked with my teacher a little bit on this, he wants to see me do the taisha here. So instead of just pressing down, which would be a pretty normal move, he wants me to do this madness. But a big part of this is he thinks one of my big weaknesses is direction of play, and both the Dragon Enclosure and the taisha basically like thrive on making good direction of play decisions. So I think this is just more of a mechanism to get me a little stronger. Okay, so for those of you who are unfamiliar with this, which should be pretty much anybody who's watching this channel, this is one of the more complicated variations. I struggle to call it a joseki because it just turns into madness, but typically black will attach, white will wedge, black will atari, white will connect, black will connect, white cuts, black extends, black extends, and now white has some options here. I chose to connect, and now it's just like this big cross-cut fight, and what do we do now, right? And nobody knows this, at least not at my rank, and nobody knows really what to do here. So our friend Haned, we atari'd, he connected, I made a base on the bottom. I do know that kind of the goal is that black is going to make a base over here, white's going to make a base over here, and then we're going to have these two kind of flying groups. But I felt like this was a bad exchange for black, and I was able to kind of get ahead and move ahead in both directions. So we kind of do this thing for a bit, and all this seems to make sense enough. We tanuki, Black does the high 2-space pin, so I decide to ignore for reasons. We do the 3-3. My opponent invites the flying knife. And honestly, this is probably my one regret, is not taking the flying knife here, but like, it's complicated. I don't know what the results look like, and with Black having stones over here, I didn't want to, all of a sudden let Black develop this for free. So we went to this variation. Black comes back and responds to my unanswered move. We Atari, descend, and then here I kind of jump around a lot in this game. I decided that obviously I was giving that stone up, and I think 018 is not that important, so I slide out this way, then go to make a base. We get this little running fight happen for a bit. I go to make sure he doesn't get too much profit here, looking to develop the bottom left corner. We continue our exchanges here. Nothing too crazy. I did get a little lazy this game, not necessarily having a good sense of how alive we are after Black eventually gets B8, and I kind of just leave the corner there for a bit. Here I just wanted to separate these two stones and then keep them separated from this group. This threatens to surround this group, so Black pushes, then goes to connect to his living group. And it's here that, like, I'm not 100% sure what the life and death implications are here. I think we're okay, but there was there are a lot of opportunities here for both players, I think. So we go and do this. I had read this out knowing that if Black Atari's here, I could connect and then go take this cut and capture the 3 stones, right? Because if Black does this, then we go here. If Black Atari's, we can just go here. Black can capture, and we can ignore. Because if Black tries to connect, we still get to capture. So once I play here, these 3 stones are dead. There's really nothing Black can do about it. Black realized that as well, and goes to press this group down. I take this cut just because it's available, and then go make some more exchanges. I kind of want to keep this game complicated. We go and we're able to cut this Black stone off. Black kind of smells blood in the water here with these cuts, right? If Black doesn't do anything, if Black just plays something like this, this becomes pretty problematic. So Black is going to play here. And then again, we just kind of try to complicate things. Here I was, if my opponent makes a mistake like this, then we get to Atari, and if Black connects here, then the 3 stones die. And if Black goes here, obviously this is a pretty awesome result. So, of course, my opponent's too smart for that, but it's still okay. And then we kind of move to endgame stuff. You get the gist of how this game went. Here's how it ended, and Black won by, I believe, 6.5 points, 5.5 points. It was close, but definitely a pretty solid game from Black. So I'm cheating a little bit here because I have seen the AI graph, so I know where the mistakes are. And so what I'm going to be doing for reviewing this is I'm going to be looking for a few things. One, I want to take a look at direction of play mistakes. And then I want to take a look at slow moves. And then any moves that surprised me. Those are going to be the 3 things I'm going to look at. Those are, I've worked with a number of teachers over the years, and they all have their preferred style for this is how you should review your games. And so I've kind of picked and chosen what I like from each of them. So that's what I'm going to be going for here. So none of this surprises me except for this move. I don't think this is the right move, but I still think I responded appropriately. Black played here, we jumped. And so I'm cheating a little bit because I kind of want to figure it out. AI dings me really hard for this move. And I've already looked at it, and I don't know, even knowing that like this is like a 6-point mistake, I'm having trouble figuring out what the correct move is, and I've already looked at it. But this is cheating because I'm not sure that I would catch this on my own as this being a bad move. Also, after I go through all of this, I'm gonna run the game with AI and see if my ideas were correct in terms of where I made mistakes. And then anything like this, I'll just have to see what AI says about this. Um, okay, so I think, nothing too crazy here. I did consider playing this. But it almost looks like just like too cute of a move. Because I was like, aha, if he tries to cut me now, all of a sudden I can go after this. But the fact remains that I'm still cut. There's like there's no way that can be good. So we did just connect. I still stand by that decision. Black presses down, we push. I think all of this seems reasonable. So obviously here, maybe in hindsight, we could have gone over here, right? Because black's already got some strength here to develop this larger potential. So, one thing that I typically do in a situation like this, where we've got two corners to approach, I almost always just approach the corner that has fewer stones, because I think by virtue of the fact that fewer stones have been played over here, there's more potential here. But that might not be the case, because these stones are far enough away that if black gets a few stones here, the potential is going to be really big. And it is worth noting, black wins because black gets pretty much this entire box as territory, right? It's, when we look at the end of the game, black's big territories right here. This is a lot of points. This corner's pretty big, this corner's pretty big, but it's like those aren't like the types of groups that we win games with, because all the corners are pretty big here. But yeah, this center section is really big. So I think I regret playing this, and I think I should have. Whoops! I think I probably should have just played here and kept it a little more simple. I would probably expect black to pincer here, but this is fine. There's no, we know that this is going to be okay. Black's going to get sente. Black could look to extend here. Black could look to extend here. But this all feels fine. This just feels like a normal go game. Not that the decision that I made really made it go off course, but I was kind of jumping around a little bit. So we play here. My opponent offers the flying knife variation. I've only played it once. It's just like the Taisha. It's stupid complicated. So if we play here, and then black plays here, we play this. Black plays here, we push through, and then we go and cut, and it does things like this. It's nonsense, and I don't know it. And I wasn't going to play a variation that I didn't know, and especially with these stones here. If these stones weren't here, I probably would have gone for it. But it was just too much of an unknown. So we just did our normal variation. So here, I think this is fine and this is fine, but I'm unsure. I'm unsure because now when black plays here, I didn't respond. My stance on this is, so ironically, I was like, there really isn't a lot of potential here. And so I didn't think connecting or anything was what to do here. But I am curious what AI would suggest here. If AI would suggest saving this, it probably does. Because yeah, I think I probably got in a little bit of trouble letting black get this. So with this happening, either like I can protect the corner and let black surround, or I can jump out and let black get the corner. I think this is fine. Now this is me cheating a little bit because I know AI doesn't like this move. So I did see a few things, even though I haven't pulled it up in AI yet. I know I've seen the graph. I know that it dings this one hard. So I know that this is a slow move. Because we're fine as is right now. While this is locally a dead shape, we have enough room to move outside to be able to get a second high. Hopefully you guys are familiar with this shape. This is the L shape. Just to go over it, let's pretend that this isn't here and this is here. Even in a studying session, I'm like, I have to teach people. No matter where white plays, white is dead. White can play this move that looks like it should help, but black threatens to connect, and then can Hane, and then play this, and now it's a locally dead shape. White can play here, but black threatens to connect here. Hane's and does this, and it's a dead shape. You can play around with it if you want. But anyway, that's why I played here, because I wanted to pressure this stone. I wanted to pressure this stone. So, but knowing that AI does not like this, um, I should probably be helping these 3 stones, because we're in the middle game now. When we care about in the middle game, we care about strength of groups. We care about potential, but strength of groups is the more important. And so playing here, I was like, I'm going to pressure this stone. But I think a more effective way to pressure the stone would be to jump out here, because this, from a direction of play standpoint, moves in the direction we actually care about. Because when the dust settles over here, where's going to be the next stone played? The next stone's going to be played somewhere over here, right? This is the interesting area of the board. So I should be playing in that direction. And so this is, I'm sure my teacher would jump all over this, and I will absolutely ask him after this. From a direction of play standpoint, we should probably be going this way, but that's something I will verify. But so I think this is a slow move. It gave my opponent the opportunity to play the first move in the important direction, and I think this was probably a big turning point in the game. I do. So we jump out. Black does this. That's fine. Strengthens the group that I wanted to go after. We jump out, and black is just getting profit. And so I can see that now. It's very, very clear that black's getting profit by attacking this group, by both getting points and strengthening the group that I wanted to go after. So yeah, this now in hindsight, this definitely feels like a big mistake. So I do kind of realize that we're not getting anything out of this. These 2 stones are still somewhat weak, and so I just wanted to go in kind of Tanuki. While this is close to the group, it is kind of a Tanuki, right? Because it doesn't really do anything for these stones. I just wanted to build potential here, right? Care about strength of groups, care about potential. This was looking to build potential. I was looking at something like A to be able to make a base and or connect, and obviously I could run out. So that felt fine. And none of this surprises me yet. I haven't gotten any surprises here. Also does not surprise me. None of this is surprising. Okay, so here I did wonder if Tanukiing was a possibility, but because of these 3 stones, right? If I had done something like this, now when we go here, I am a little worried about what could happen to these 3 stones. So I felt like I did need to respond. Black played this way, and I went to cut. This move, so this move was surprising. This move did surprise me. I was expecting white to play here, or black to play here rather. At which point I was just going to look to play here to help connect the groups up. And I did consider that move here, but with this stone being a little closer, we have to be mindful of this. And then all of a sudden, things get a little dicey here, right? It's possible that we are fine as is here, but it looks tricky. I certainly don't like it. And that's a lot to read from this position, right? So I was like, okay, let's just, if we're being attacked, we will apply pressure to our opponent's groups. And I still think this is okay, right? Keeping these 2 stones separated, because we've got some strength up here, and there isn't a lot of room here. So that was the intent here, and all of this seems fine. I did consider at this point in time blocking, but from a direction of play standpoint, that then forces my opponent to go in this direction, which is going to be the more interesting direction. And so because of that, I decided to play that way instead. Seems reasonable. Okay, so black plays here. How did we respond? Yeah, I think this is still fine with this. I don't consider this a slow move. And then all of this is fine. When I played here, I had done a bunch of reading. I knew that this was okay, right, because of the connection. I was more of expecting my opponent to potentially do this and then connect and then here. But I think we're okay here because we can cut, which threatens the double Atari. And then this is pretty, I think, pretty dangerous for black. I don't think black would want this. So I think this was a fine move. AI will show me if that's not the case. I do wonder if extending is better here. I do wonder about that. This is probably cleaner because it likely goes after these. And if black wants to do this, so this is kind of what happened in the game. Maybe this doesn't. Maybe this is too much for black, right? Black getting all this and then fixing the cut. This gets black a lot. Maybe this was just all bad. Maybe this was just all bad. But it felt good. It felt good. Okay. But we do know that it's Gote. This move is not surprising. All of this seems reasonable. We took the cut just because there's crazy amounts of Aji. I've also cheated here, and I know that AI would like me to play this move, but the variation is really complicated, and that's not really the type of thing that I want to be looking at. And that's an important takeaway for any of you who are using AI. This is a perfect situation where me playing here and then this, it was here. Here is the important thing, okay? AI wants me to play this. And then when black plays here and I play here, black connects, it wants me to play here. And then black's going to do this. White plays here. Black plays this. We squeeze. And then the variation stops here. And it's like, this is what you should have done. And playing the move that I played was like a 5-point mistake. But like, that doesn't feel human to me. Like, I wouldn't be able to go through that. So I still feel fine cutting this off. It is worth noting I had counted here. I knew I was down. I knew I was down by about 8 points or so, 8 to 10 points. And so I knew I needed to play a little aggressive, keep things complicated. That's an important thing to understand is when you're behind, you need to complicate the game. You cannot lose peaceful games. You can't do it, right? If you play a peaceful game and you lose it, it's like you've lost twice because you didn't recognize that you were losing, or you did recognize that you were losing and you still didn't do anything about it. Doesn't matter if we lose by 3 or 20. You can't see that you're losing and then go, I'm just not going to fight. I'm not going to try, right? So we go and try to complicate things, which is why I play shenanigans like this. Yes, this is kind of fishing for a mistake. I get it, but it does still keep the game somewhat complicated. So let's back it up. Is there a better move here? I still think this is okay, right? And maybe, the end result seems reasonable because we get a reduction in sensei. We'll let AI show us if there's something better. I was looking at this, but I don't think that works. Yeah, it doesn't really seem to do much. That does not seem to do much. Okay, moving on. This is just a big endgame move. This is probably just simpler. Because I did end up losing this stone. So this is probably just simpler. Just keep it simple. And, if we play here, now this big sensei move gets turned on. But I would probably just leave this as is. and then go and play the next big move, which is probably something like this, and then here. But this is all kind of end gamey at this point in time, and the game is already decided, because black is up by about 5 points here, and black maintains that lead throughout the rest of the game. So I don't think we need to take a look at that. So now we're going to pivot over and take a look at what AI has to say. So before we do that, though, let's highlight some moves that we want to consider the best place to play. So AI will have to tell me what that mistake is. Okay, so here, so this is move 38. I'm curious what AI would like me to do. I'm sure that this move's still fine, but in hindsight, I think I would have rather played R14. I am curious if I should just jump out here, or if this is okay. And then here, just go and take this now. That's probably what I would do. And then here, yeah. I do wonder. I want to know if AI wants this, or maybe also this. Maybe also this. This is a good follow-up. So that's what happens when we rush through. And I was like, oh, I know that this move is wrong, and this is probably it, but I didn't actually sit and think and give it time. And I think this is probably what we should do. This gets us great strength. It moves in the important direction. It keeps our opponent low. Okay. Real curious about what options are available here. We could have done something like this, but I don't know. I don't know about it. I mean, we've got the cut here. Right, so does that get us anything? I'm unsure. Maybe this is okay, because we can still break in over here. I think the biggest mistake in this game was probably this. And I cheated a little bit because AI told me that this was a mistake. But I clearly need to do something over here. This is fine. I know that this group's alive. I know that it's healthy. All the potential on the board is, the potential on the board is here and here, which is why I played this. But this is more open. And doing something like this also stops the corner from growing too much. Okay, so now let's go take a look at it in AI and see what we can learn there. Okay, so we've got the game loaded up in AI Sensei now. So let's take a look to see if we missed anything obvious. So it wanted me to go here, but that's fine. I know that this is a playable move. I know that these are the three. I've played this variation enough to know that I know that those three moves are playable. So it didn't hate this move. I'm not surprised it doesn't like that. Cool, I got that right. Hooray, hooray, hooray. Okay. Okay, so here, 10-point mistake. So it just wants me to connect. That makes sense, right? Because playing here, black can play here, and then I can't do the hane here, right? Because black gets this into this. But if we connect, if black plays here, we get the hane, and the ladder doesn't work, right? So I was just being too cute with a hanging connection there. You can play this how this ladder works for us. So okay, crazy 10-point mistake. 10-point mistake. But I was like, this both protects this, connects and it protects it. But yeah, okay. Yeah, that's silly. That is silly. Okay. Yeah. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, so it does like my approach. It does like my approach here. Let's see how much we lose if we get this. I'm sure this is still playable. Yeah, half a point. half a point, and then it's going to say black isn't even going to respond because I'm AI, but a human would never play this. I would have expected my opponent to play here, at which point again we would expect this. And let's see. So it has white up by a handful of points. Still says that this is a hugely important move. Okay. So playing here is fine. And it likes the 3-3. Okay. Okay. So it's fine with this move. It's only, yeah, it's less than half a point. This is half a point. Okay, but it does want me to extend. It says that this is a 2-point mistake. Okay. So if we go here and then black does something like this, what? So it's just, we're going to give this up, but black's going to lose all the potential over here. Seems reasonable. Okay. So yeah, I guess I really misunderstood how important this move was. I didn't think it was Sente. I did not think this move was Sente. If I did, I would have absolutely played it, and then it came back here. So good to know. Good to know. Though I say good to know, as black, this doesn't seem too scary to me. So what is the concern here? That we're eventually going to get surrounded? And if we push one more time, there's the strength here, and yeah, I was going to say we can break through at that point in time. So yeah, so I guess I overestimated how strong this group was. Right, we do have the large knights move that we know can be cut. Right, I cut it later in the game. So okay, so playing here just makes this cut that much more scary. That makes sense. I am pretty weak with cuts in general. Okay. So yeah, it hates this, and then hates this. Where does it want me to play? It just wants me to connect. So it has nothing to do with over here. How much of a mistake would this be? And then black's going to play here, probably. Here. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty dangerous. That is dangerous for sure. So it just wanted the connection. But why is this bad? Same thing here. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. That was just not realizing how dangerous this was. It's funny. I didn't go over it in the review. I almost considered playing here to stop that, but so that was another mystery. So okay, so it doesn't hate this move, but it says it's a 3-point mistake. And yeah, we're really not getting too much out of that. So yeah, so we botched that corner. I just didn't understand. I didn't understand the relative strength of groups here. How much weaker, basically, how much stronger and invincible it makes this corner, and how much weaker it makes this group. Okay, so that's an important takeaway there. That is an important takeaway there. So let's see what else. Okay, so we get this fight. It wants us to go and do something over here. You guys can't see it. It says black is up by 13 points. So, and I knew that when I had counted. Again, just yeah, really misunderstanding how strong and or weak these groups were. So that's probably the main takeaway here. So let's see. What other questions did I have? I know it hates all these moves because it's saying, hey guys, both of you are missing just how important the strength of group stuff over here is. So it's just going to yell at us for a long while. So what I'm going to do here is, it's a cool thing that AI Sensei has. Let's look at this. We're going to restrict the region. We're going to say, I don't care about that move. AI, I understands that you say that move is important. I want to know what's important here. So now it's going to ignore this move over here, and it's going to tell us what to do. Because where did I play? I played there. Oh, but it breaks out immediately. Breaks out immediately. That's kind of sad. So I'll have to play around with that later. And honestly, at this point, I think I've seen what I need to see. AI does say that we missed two opportunities. So let's see what they were. Oh right, I already knew this craziness, right? Where apparently if I find this exchange, the OGS showed me this one. So we go there. Black's going to play here now. Oh, OGS said here, and then wants us to play here. AI Sensei differs. AI Sensei differs from what OGS wanted. Inaccuracy, 2.5 points. But I want to know, like, what were we, and then going to cut here. Yeah, this is, yeah, it's like, you better be damn sure this is what, you guys can't do this kind of reading? So that's kind of why I say, I caution the use of AI sometimes with complicated variations like this, because I think from a human perspective, this is good. And it says the game's dead even here. So then we lose a little bit. Why did we lose a little bit? This actually is what I should be studying. So let's see. Wait, okay. Yeah. Okay, so it liked all this. It says black's up by 1. Does not like this. 2-point mistake. So it says, okay. It says that was fine. Go take your... So now we're just kind of in... I think we're just in endgame nitty-gritty now. And so I just didn't do the endgame well. And there's one more spike. There's one more spike I want to see. Okay, so that was 1.7 point mistake. How much was this? How much was this? 1.4. 0.3 points better, so both of them were pretty bad. And we apparently had one more opportunity here. If we had found this. Just to get the outside stone. Oh. Oh. Oh, really? Yeah, because black can't play here because of this. Well, I mean, black can, but then we get to connect. Yeah, that's huge. Okay. Tricky, tricky. This kind of thing is seeable by me. So while the variation over here, I don't think is within my grasp, this one absolutely is. This is something that is that I am strong enough to be able to find. This is the type of sequence that I can find. So good to know that that was there. So that's it for today. That was my first little study session. I don't know how many of these I'm going to do. Let me know if these are just totally boring and it's just not even worth posting, and I won't. But let me know the opposite too. If you think it's interesting seeing how a single-digit Q player can go through and review our games. So that's where I'm going to leave it for now. As for always, thanks for coming out for another ride in Story What's Where. Every goal is not to triangle. Have a good one, guys.